We're at Ronin Pro Wrestling. It was a great night of action. Unbelievable. Good job by this man, Trevor.
Thank you.
And everybody involved in Ronin. What I want to talk to you about is Rusty Brooks. So Trevor, tell us about the School of Hard Knocks, first of all, what it was like training there.
It definitely was an experience. It was, we came over to Rusty's, and it was funny because we didn't really know what to expect because it was pro wrestling school and it's not something everyone does. I remember we went to the back, we pulled into the house, Rusty's house, and there was training going on. And there was about a dozen guys there working out, just running drills, doing moves, body slams and suplexes. And that got us really hooked. And it was really cool working with Rusty because Rusty is he's a very open-minded with wrestling. He's, he did a lot of work in the 80s, and he's a big fan of the old school, that old school mentality, but he also understands that wrestling is evolving, and he had no problem with working with us and then evolving as far as our gimmicks and our styles. And being able to keep the old school psychology with the new style of wrestling that today's fans are seeing.
What did you think about Rusty as the person? This is the thing. Wasn't just a guy. Hey, give me your money.
Yeah.
I'll train you, and here we go. There's more than that.
Rusty, we spent more time in his house, talking to him and picking his brain, and instead of actually being in the ring with him, because we would bring DVDs. We'd be like, Rusty, you got to check out these DVDs. And then Rusty, he'd roll his eyes and be like, oh, you guys with your new stuff. And he's, But he'll watch them with us. And he would sit there and he would go, okay, well, that was good. But I like that. And if you want to do something like this, try this. And he was very, he was very open and he was willing to work with us because he took, a lot of schools are very cookie cutter, where the guy, the instructor will mold their students the way that they were trained. And you got guys that do a lot of the same things. But Rusty was a lot different. Rusty took certain guys and got their personality, got their gimmick, and they rolled with it. Rusty was a big guy, but he was able to work and train a lot of the high flyers. He was able to train a lot of the grapplers and the submissionists, the submission technicians. So he was very well-rounded as far as doing that too.
You still talk to Rusty and get advice from him. You're running your own shows now and all. So
yeah.
How much of a part of Rusty has been?
I always try to keep in touch the best I can with Rusty. We go out and see him sometimes. There's always times where we go out and have lunch or dinner with him. I'm always encouraging Rusty to come to the show. I always invite him to the show, and he definitely puts over the shows. It's really cool to get the compliments from Rusty, the guy that's booked and promoted all from in Florida and out of state, and who worked with the WWE, and then to come and say how impressed he was and how much he enjoyed the show. It's a really good feeling, not just for it being Rusty, but to be my trainer, my instructor. So it's definitely rewarding to have Rusty be able to watch, teaching me how to bump to now watching me do something like this.
Ronin Pro Wrestling, Trevor, website or social media, what do we got
You can find Ronin Pro Wrestling online over at roninprowrestling.com. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Ronin Pro Wrestling. And then we're on Twitter and Instagram. Our Twitter and Instagram handles are @RoninPW. One word.
Thank you, Trevor.
Cool. Thank you, sir.